Here's a closet door that won't close because it's got at least 3 major issues. The top is rubbing so it can't close. It's also out of alignment and the latch bolt won't engage. But you won't know all of that until you fix these things one by one. So we're going to start with the top. Let's get this top closing. It has a decent gap up above the hinge, but right here, over toward the strike is where it's rubbing. Now it's very difficult to figure out how to shave these things if you mark them and take them off. So it's best to shave this in place. Now your planer's only going to get to about right there before it hits the jamb and stops. But we've got enough gap from there over toward the hinge. So we're going to open up this door, get up on a 2-step, and start shaving it little by little and testing as we go. Because I only have to plane the strike side of the door, I can do it in this manner. If I had to plane the hinge side of the door, I would have to take the door off. But this, even though it's a little cumbersome, a little tricky, is the best way to do this. Just do a couple of planing strokes, use the lightest setting on your planer, and then test it each time till you get a nice gap up there and it's closing. Remember, whenever you are shaping a door, we always want to make sure the top and bottom fit first. Then we work on the sides. We have a nice gap here on the top, but now it's too tight on the sides. But we have this big gap here on the hinge side. So we are going to check the hinges. Look how loose those are. I should have checked those ahead of time. So we're going to get real screws in here and tighten all these up, and that'll pull the door toward the hinge side of the jamb. With that done, it pulls the door over toward the hinge side, but it also pulls the top right of the door up. So it's rubbing again. So I got to do a little more planing. Now that we have nice gaps and everything's operating well, I discover we have an alignment issue. Look at this. It doesn't want to latch, so let's go inside the closet and figure out why. Look where the bottom of the door hits right against the stop. But then when we go up to the top, look at that. It's almost a ½ inch away from the stop. So either the jamb is crooked or the door is tilting away. So you either want to pull the top in or kick the bottom out. We're going to kick the bottom out, and that should solve our alignment problem. So we take the screws out of the middle hinge. Just leave it there. Take the screws out of the bottom hinge. Now we're just going to pull the door out a little bit. Just going to put 1 screw in there just to test the position. Now let's close the door again. And look, it touches the stop at the top. And now it's touching the stop at the bottom. The door is now properly aligned and it will latch. So with your middle hinge, just put it in place wherever it was. Put your screws back in. And now let's check again. See this? That latch bolt should be in the center of the strike plate. It isn't. Let's raise that strike plate up a little bit. See that? Just raised it up 1/4 inch. Remortised it, so now we're positioned properly and it's going to latch, and look at that. The gaps look perfect. Another great repair.